What's up, cuties? Welcome to Chit Chat with QT. Join me as I discuss hot topics, celebrity news and gossip, reality TV show recaps, and more. Everything that I discuss are my own personal opinions for entertainment purposes only. Now, before I get started, please make sure to like the video, hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and sit back and enjoy. What's up, cuties? Thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. Please make sure to hit that like button for me if you don't mind. It looks like Marques has shook the table, baby. Marques sat down with Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King, and it seems like ever since that interview, things been shaky. Dr. Heavenly came out earlier today. She went live and she's having, it seems like, some regrets. But I'm just going to point out, and I may have a different view than others, but I'm going to point out a couple things. And I think that her conscience, number one, is playing on her. But in her live, she said that she's tired of being blamed. And I just had to think, who is blaming Dr. Heavenly? We know that that interview hit on Monday. Here it is Wednesday, and now she got a whole change of heart. Who's blaming her? I came up with three people. One of them is Carlos King, and I think the other two is none other than Trish and Ken. So you guys have to realize how Dr. Heavenly has been moving out here. Now, when she sat down with Trish, she was praying for Trish and telling her to hang up right away and make sure you call your man and let that man know how much you love him. Then we had when Ken reluctantly agreed to go ahead and give that interview. And Trish said the reason why Ken wasn't there at first is because he felt some type of way about Dr. Heavenly. You guys remember, Trish was cussing and everything. She said, yeah, your ass messy. Your ass is messy. But we saw a week later Ken on the screen. And even in that interview, it seems to me that Dr. Heavenly was then on Ken's side. You know, she had a couple questions, but for the most part, I've always said this, Dr. Heavenly just goes wherever the wind blows, in my opinion. But baby, when Marques stepped on the scene, things changed. They changed. And I do think that just from looking at Dr. Heavenly while that interview was going on, she believed Marques. But if you guys look at the screen right here, look at Carlos. That was Carlos's body language during that whole interview. You know, Carlos wasn't all teeth like he was with Ken. He wasn't feeling Marques for a number of reasons. But when I was watching Dr. Heavenly, again, swinging with the wind, I do think, though, it was a little sincere. And I do think that she believed what Marques was saying. So much so, two words were said. And I talked about this either last night or in members only. Two words were said by Dr. Heavenly: bad editing. And baby, Carlos was hot. Carlos was hot. And Marques went on to further say that when it comes to the relentlessness of the producers and all of that, and how they were trying to get in his son's ear, and his son basically begged him, Dad, you need to come on this show because they, production, are trying to make me act like you have not been a part of my life. Guess what that would have been? That would have been bad editing, false editing, and all of the above. And it took Marquez's son for him to make the decision to come on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I already told you guys how I felt about Marquez. 85, 90, 95%, I believe damn near everything that he said. I really, really do. I also think that when Marquez cried, when Trish and Ken walked out of that scene, when she was signing the divorce papers and all of that, those tears for me was the realization that, damn, I really lost my family. So he can say out of his mouth in this interview with Dr. Heavenly and Carlos all he wants, that he's over Trish. I didn't see that. And I do think that after this interview, Marquez and Dr. Heavenly may have had a further discussion. But what I also think happened after that interview is Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly probably had further discussion, because Dr. Heavenly made sure to apologize for saying bad editing. And I don't even see why she apologized, because it is correct. That is Carlos's job. That is his production company's job to edit. Sometimes it's gonna be good, sometimes it's gonna be bad. But in her live today, like I said, she said that she's tired of being blamed. She said she's going to move away from reality TV, period. And she made sure to say Love and Marriage Huntsville, and that she wants to rebrand. She even talked about, maybe I'll go into politics and all of that. But this is what she said that really, really made me believe that, yeah, she believes Marquez. She said that she's learned this week. Now it's only Wednesday. She said she learned this week that nobody knows your relationship better than you do. Who said that? Who said that they know Trish damn near better than anybody else? Marquez. And Dr. Heavenly has peeped game when it comes to that situation, just like I did. I told you guys, in my opinion, Ken is no different than coleslaw at all. But seems like Carlos King got a little problem with what is trending, which is Dr. Heavenly saying that she's done. Because Carlos King posted this in his stories about an hour ago. He said, y'all be in competition with people that God sent to be on your team. Who you think that's about? Who do you think it's about? I think it's about Dr. Heavenly. See, Carlos is trying to smooth things over. I'm on your team. You on my team. Let's continue to do this. Ain't no competition and all of that. And yeah, this is a message to Dr. Heavenly, in my opinion. But here's my question. Is Dr. Heavenly really, really done? I don't see how it took Marquez for Dr. Heavenly to have some morals. I don't. And when I say that she blows, whichever the way the wind blows or goes, whatever, child. Um, Look, we've seen enough when it comes to Mel and Martell. Dr. Heavenly was one of the first people to interview Martell. But again, she's shifting one way this week, shifting one way next week, and Heavenly. That's why you get blamed. It's not authentic. Um, there should be a line that's drawn, especially as a woman. And we know everything that's gone on when it comes to Mel and Martell. The majority of the things that's been public. Everybody know it and you know it. But guess what? You will still sit there with Carlos and smile, and Martell a good guy, Martell this, and you know Martell ain't shit. And if you all of a sudden care about the breakdown of marriages, I would think you would have held Martell a little more accountable than you have. I would think you would have used your voice to Carlos. and let that be known. I really, really would have. So I don't know if I'm completely buying it. I will wait and see if Dr. Heavenly and Carlos will be live next Monday, the 19th. We do know that Love and Marriage Huntsville comes back the 17th. And yeah, I'm gonna just, give it the side eye for now. But if she's going to rebrand, good for her. But Dr. Heavenly has caused a whole lot of damage out here. Even when it comes to her own castmates, she's caused a whole lot of damage. So what happened this week? Her words this week. What did you learn this week for you to wake up this morning and click live and say everything that you said? I think Carlos chewed her ass out. I really, really do. Because look, Martell even came out and said what he said about editing. Carlos spoke about that. It's not editing. It's not editing. And Dr. Heavenly said that with her chest. Bad editing. And Carlos, she didn't lie. So Carlos is another one that goes wherever the wind blows. And everybody is his girl. And I love you. And we're friends. And we're this. And number one, where's Melody? How come we didn't see Mel on Carlos and Heavenly show? I'm sure Mel may have turned them down, but damn, did Carlos even ask? Did he ask her? Because it seems like since that money grab of that podcast that was in Huntsville in January, Mel who? I have barely seen anything when it comes to mail after Carlos received that money from the Mellometers. But I do want to say again, kudos to Marques for shaking the table. And if it took Marques to shake some sense in Dr. Heavenly's head, then again, kudos to him. That man spoke his truth. And I told you guys, when it comes to Ken, I'm not buying it. I'm not saying that Ken is a bad guy. And we'll talk about this clip that was released today with everybody sitting around. Kimmy, Trish, Ken, Mel, Nell Fletcher, Chris Fletcher, Marceau, and Tisha. We'll talk about that tomorrow in my power hour. But I'm not buying it. I'm not. Marquez laid the timeline down, and guess who else sort of confirmed it? King. They went all the way back, it looks like now to 2016. We in 2024. That's 8 years ago. How we go from 2022, 2020, then Marquez come out and say 2017. Tonight in the clip is 2016. They've been messing around for quite some time, in my opinion. And Ken is bogus. That lady's still married. Still married. And just something ain't right. Thanks to Marquez, we got a little more details. How Ken's woman at the time busted him over there with Trish. And I think Marquez got a whole lot more truth to tell. Not sure if he's a full-time cast member or if he'll just be popping in or, if he's a friend of, I don't know. But I want to see more of him because we want him to continue to put these pieces together when it comes to Trish and Ken. They were messing around while that lady was still with her husband, and that is according to her husband, still her husband. So yeah, shout out to Marquise. But you guys let me know your thoughts when it comes to this post that Carlos put up tonight. I'm going to read it again. Y'all be in competition with people that God sent to be on your team. That says and screams Dr. Heavenly to me. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, when it comes to Dr. Heavenly, she's done with Love and Marriage Huntsville. She did say at the start of her life she's just gonna move away from reality TV, period. But she just had Mama D on. Mama D is from Love and Hip Hop. So is it just Love and Marriage Huntsville related? which I think it is. And I think the reason why it's Love and Marriage Huntsville related is because of that guy right there at the top, that facial expression that he had during this whole interview. I don't know if Marques really picked up on it. Carlos wasn't feeling that man from the time he came on that screen. And he definitely wasn't feeling Marques when Marques busted out Carlos' production crew as far as trying to get in his son's ear. And as a father, he didn't appreciate that at all. So it was very uncomfortable to watch. It really, really was. It wasn't the overly friendly with laughter and squealing. It wasn't that normal Carlos at all. And I think whatever transpired after that show, I do believe that he and Dr. Heavenly had a conversation. And I think that that's why she is done. So you guys drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. We will discuss this. It's late, my time, 9 p.m. on Wednesday. We'll discuss this tomorrow, Thursday, during a Power Hour live. Also to the Cutie crew and my patronic Cuties. We will have our Let Loose Lounge tomorrow as well. We'll be watching Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 1, Episode 7. And all of it ties in to the clip that I saw tonight. Same people that was hating back then, Tisha, is the same one that's hating tonight in that clip. We'll discuss it tomorrow, but let me know your thoughts. Do you guys think that Dr. Heavenly is done? Do you think that Carlos cares? Do you think that Carlos is going to try to get in her ear and ask her to please continue? Or will she stand on business and say, no, I'm done? I do think that I can't even say it. I was gonna say I do think to a certain extent, Dr. Heavenly may really care about marriages, but no, Dr. Heavenly care about daddy and her kids, or Laura and the other sons. That's about it. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying what she was selling in her live, but if she is moving on, and if something really bothered her to make this decision, then kudos to her. But you guys drop down in the comments. Let me know if you believe it. Carlos putting heavily on blast. He done took, she came out and struck, and he struck back. The girls are fighting. They've been fighting for quite some time, child. Now it's Dr. Heavenly and Carlos. Last week it was Funky Dineva, Armand, Al, all of that. You guys know I said in my video when the one that's titled "The Girls Are Fighting." Typically they stick together. Typically they stick together, and for the main part, they have. It hasn't been too messy out here. Now I can guarantee you, if somebody called Funky Dineva out like Armand did, if that somebody would have been a woman, I can guarantee you, in my opinion, Funky Dineva would probably have went live at the same damn time. But they handled it behind the scenes, child. And it looks like Heavenly and Carlos are not handling it behind the scenes. But as I mentioned, drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. If you have not hit like, please go ahead and like the video. Hit that notification bell. That way you'll know when I drop future videos and when I go live. Make sure you are subscribed. Check and make sure that you are still subscribed. YouTube be tripping. And also share my video with your friends. But I thank you guys again for joining me. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night. And I'll chat with you guys soon. Bye.
Chit chat with QT. Chit chat with QT. Chit chat with QT. With QT. Chit chat with Cutie. Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat with Cutie.